I was at my grandma's house and we were hanging out. I got the call from my mom's best friend, and she told me that my mom was in a bad car accident and that she didn't make it. I was just like in total shock. I said, no, this is not real. This is not real. The doctors come out and they tell me that my mom passed away in like a deadly car accident. She was my best friend. So it's like I have to become an adult and I have to deal with losing my mom. So it's like hard in a sense, but I'm still doing it.
Almost 5 years ago, my ex-husband and I split up. I was living on my own and realizing that how much dependency I actually had on him, financially, emotionally, mentally, and didn't realize the breakdown in those 7 years of being in an abusive relationship. When I was by myself, I still had this tie that I needed, and I opened the door back up and I kept trying. June of 2018, he ended up pulling a gun on me and attempted to load it. I was able to get away just because he put the magazine in backwards so it fell to the carpet. I was able to run, and I looked back and he was pointing it at me. That night, he was arrested. After that weekend, he was released. 2 weeks later, we had a court date. I showed up at the court date, he did not. The state of Arizona dropped charges. I didn't know how to process any of it. So I actually left court. I went to a bar and I got drunk. And I actually wanted to go to our house and just tell him to finish it. I was that depressed and that distraught. Like I felt like he did kill me. Like there was a portion of me that did die that night. I didn't know what to do, and I really didn't even care.
Before JFCS, I was living with my stepdad and he was abusive. The very last time that he was physically abusive was October 5th, 2018. My family on my biological dad's side was trying to get custody of me, but that didn't go as planned. Once the judge told me that I had to go back to Arizona with my stepdad, that's when everything changed. I got very depressed, suicidal. I started going to mental facilities. Then that's when I didn't really care about school. I overdosed on trazodone. After that, I went to a therapeutic treatment center, and I was there for about 4 months.
I knew I couldn't process this on my own. I knew I needed help.
So I did some research. I've heard of JFCS before, but I really didn't understand what the organization did. So I went on the website, and the big appeal was it had a big impact in the Valley. So consequently, I started donating through the tax credit program.
I really hadn't done a whole lot of volunteering growing up. I wanted my kids to be exposed to all kinds of charity projects and stuff because I thought that was a good thing. My mother-in-law had always been involved with JFCS, and she started on me that you need to volunteer for a Jewish organization if you're going to put your time and effort in. My guess is I probably hemmed and hawed because that's what I usually would do if she suggested I do something, but she was right.
What I liked about the organization too is that it touches Jewish lives as well. They've got good programs for the elderly and senior citizens. They support Holocaust survivors. My mother's a Holocaust survivor. It's solid and stable, and I think that's, in this day and age, I think that's important too.
It is really comfortable going to volunteer somewhere that is based on Jewish values and Jewish ethics. I volunteered at Real World every week at JFCS. It's really been an amazing experience. It provides services to everybody, because that was a surprise to me. I did not realize that. I think it's even better that it's not just a Jewish organization anymore, that it is helping everybody in our community.
We ran across the Real World Center. Real World Center, if you're not too familiar with it, is they do GED exams for the kids there. They have food there for them. They have programs for kids after school. One thing that hit me was if somebody wants to go to work and go to a job, they don't have transportation. So they provided transportation. You lose sight of what people go through, and some of the background with the kids, you just forget. We have no idea. We really have no idea. You hear stories at the Luncheon every year, and you read about things that are unimaginable too. I can't even comprehend what some of these people have to go through. So if I have an opportunity to help these people in any small way, it works.
You may be making a bigger difference than you even will ever know, because that's what keeps you going.
I enjoy giving back, and the reason is because it helps somebody that really doesn't have a shot or an opportunity. You're going to make an impact on somebody's life.
I firmly believe that when I go to volunteer, my soul sings.
So I started doing research online as to where I can find support, and that's how everything started with Shelter Without Walls.
Once they told me that I was gonna go to like JFCS, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this out, GED, I've never heard of this. So I went in there, all the ladies were so welcoming, like it was like a great atmosphere. They're always just so happy, and I'm like, it just made me feel better, and I was like, dang, this is kind of like home to me.
Through the organization, I was able to get therapy. I still struggle, but I'm also able to recognize and change direction. But I do it. I do the work.
It makes me very happy to know that somebody's there, because if I didn't have anybody there, then I would probably be on the streets. I wouldn't care about my life. They care about my life, so I care about my life.
Where I am today, no matter what, I feel more empowered, and other women I inspire. I'm actually have been asked to help mentor, and I'm gonna mentor and help out.
My mom passed away in October 2021. How I keep her alive is I show myself unconditional love. How she would show me, I show myself unconditional love. And I'm still with JFCS, and she would be happy. Yeah, she would definitely be happy at me. She would say, "You're doing such a good job."